Hey everyone, this is Delta. Welcome back to another Minecraft tutorial. This tutorial is on a piston loop setup. Setup could be used for multiple things, such as this example here we're looking at here is a lighting setup that uses lava lighting to turn off and on lights. It could be used for other things such as for adventure games, having pathways that drop in and out, say through lava or whatnot. So it's quite good to use for multiple things just other than lighting. So this was seen in my previous tutorials where it was in the background over here, and the user just wanted to know what it was, and I said I'll show you how to build it. So it's quite simple. This one over here is a simpler version of that one. It just runs off in a loop, so the power comes from through here, comes into a block, or powers to a block which turns the piston off, sends a signal through on a delay, and it goes around and around in a delay. It comes back to the very end, comes back through and starts all over again. So this is a simpler version of the one out there, and why it's simple is because this doesn't have a turn off and on switch. It does have a turn on switch, but no, you can't turn it off. And what I have here is the switch itself. So this video will be a two-part video, still within the same video. I just wanted to split up the video into the mechanics into the switch itself. So here we have a broken down version of pretty much what's over there. So we have a power source that goes into some mechanics over here, which we'll demonstrate later and we'll go over later. We won't go through it now. But pretty much you can turn it on, off and on. So it's on right now. So the piston's going up and down as such. And turn it off and the pistons will stop. So it's quite good and quite compact for what it is. It probably could do it a simpler way, which I'd be more all ears to see if I could do it a simpler way. I'm still learning. I have to do a bit of research into some of this stuff over here, just to get it to work. So here we have a broken down version of each unit of the light itself, and the way it works is that we have a lava source hidden behind a wall over there, and when a signal comes through, it pulls the block away, which allows the light to come in and the lava itself to come in like that. So like I said, this is quite universal to what you can use it for. You can change the delay, you can alter the pulse, so if it goes a fast pulse but long delay and whatnot, that can be all changed with the repeaters and with the first initial pulse itself. So it's quite handy for, say, like I said, for example, we have adventure games and you're jumping around on blocks on a lava field, and slowly behind you the pistons retract. This could happen really slowly. So you're having to jump around and around and around and around, and slowly they're going dropping down, and it'd be quite fun to have an adventure map itself like that. So this is the initial setup I said. Got the switch on and off switch over here to turn it off and on. So now it's turned off, and we can turn it on. So it's quite simple, and we're going to go over the setup itself and how to build this right now. Okay, so we've just got a wall now. It's probably best to start with a wall already pre-built, or have a existing wall that you can dig out. That is over there. I dug that one out. And this wall over here, just for demonstration, is 4 high by 23 long, and 1 wide. So this will give us a nice 7 blocks, same as over there. So it's the exact same setup. So it's going to give us 7 lights to use. So to begin with, we want to give an area on the back to have wiring and our lava to sit. So what we're going to do is place a stream or line of any block if you're choosing. I'm using sandstone in this case. You want to do it 2 high, so we want it 1 off the ground and 2. So we want 2 rows, 1 off the ground. We want it to continue all the way down to the very back. And this will be for our lava to be supported and the pistons to be supported off the lava and whatnot. So that's pretty simple. Now every 3rd block, excluding the one from this end, so this end over here is just the end where it cuts off, so we can actually get rid of these 2 blocks at the very end over here. But every 3rd block, so 1, 2, 3, we want to remove and place a block behind it. So probably best to place a block behind it first. So every 3rd block, so 1, 2, 3, behind it, remove. 1, 2, 3, behind it, and remove. And this is just so our lava can be placed in here without spilling out everywhere. And last one. Perfect. So that's where our lava will go in each of these pockets over here. And what we need to now do is place a piston diagonally from this block. So the best way I think to do it is to just bring it out like that, place a block like that. You jump for it. So we want to go diagonally. See how it's diagonally from the block that comes out. We want to do that on all of them. So again, put 3 blocks, remove those 2, jump, and place a piston. It's quite simple. Oops. Okay, so all the pistons are now being placed diagonally from the block. It's pretty simple. So now we want to do is place a block underneath each and every single one. Oops. So under each, every one like that. And this is just so we can get a wiring or a power up to it. And it helps with the loop as well. So under each one, like such. Now we need to place a torch. So grabbing a torch, a redstone torch. Under each, or on top of each block now, we want to place a torch. So under each piston, that is. And this is just so it powers it straight away. So now we have a powered piston onto the block itself. Now these blocks here that the piston will pull out, these are the window blocks. So we will place the windows now. So grabbing either pane of glass or glass itself. Where the pistons are, we want to just remove that block there. So that's going to be the block, and we want to place it with glass. So I think it's every third block. So 1, 2, 3, replace. 1, 2, 3, replace. And this is just for the lava to be seen through. As such. So behind each block, piston that is, or in front of it, there will be glass. We can place our lava now, I guess. So what we need to do is be very careful with our lava. If you spill it, it's an absolute pain in the ass to fix, because most of your wiring will be done, and lava is very annoying when you're getting rid of, because it just seems to stick around for ages. So be careful. I've done this tutorial about 2-3 times now because I've actually placed it incorrectly, pretty much, and it's just gone everywhere. So our lava is now set up, sorry, and now what we want to do is place our repeaters in between each unit. So each unit has 2 repeaters on its max setting, and this is just so we can get a delayed or longer pulse through, or longer signal, not pulse. The pulse is changed by the on and off switch over there. So each and every single unit has 2 as such, and we want to put it on the last setting, making sure they're facing into the next block, not that direction or the wrong direction. So making sure they face into the next one as such. And then this one over here, this would be just pulled out to a length as such. So we've pulled it out, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You probably can go a bit compacter than this, but just for the purpose of the tutorial, we'll pull it out. You do need a tiny bit of room. Like I said, this probably could be pulled out much narrower, even up to here. But just for the compact, just for the complex saving this, we're going to save it the tutorial and actually just make it nice and long and big for it. So we're going to pull this all the way out to the start, and we'll just loop it back in, just such. Now, when we turn it on, so we'll just power it. Each piston will power on one after the other, slowly one after the other, and you'll notice that it doesn't quite reach the end. So we also place a repeater right there, and we'll place another one, say right over here. The first repeater has to be on the 4 ticks, as we did before, so the last tick, and this one has to go on the second, well, actually the last one, because we're changing the setup slightly. So it's a tiny bit out, but it's fine. So now as we break the signal, the lights turn off slowly, and then we can power it on. So we put this down and power it on, give it a pulse, and now the lights will turn around and around and around and around. So that's the tutorial pretty much done right there, without the turn off and on switch. So our next stage is now to do the on and off switch. Alternatively, you can leave it like this. The one over there is just like this one, To turn it off though, however, you need to break the redstone wire manually, and that's going to be a bit of a pain. So what we're going to do is show you how to build this setup over here. It turns it off and on right now. Okay, so what I like to do first is create our control panel. What we want to do is just place it one away from the tower itself. So we'll just go like that, and we want to pull the wiring back behind it. Now on this one we'll be using a lever to turn it off and on, so we can turn it off, so it's on, sorry, and off as such. So we can pull it out, this wiring. What we want to do is pull it out and directly turn left as such. Pulling it all the way around, making it in line with this one over here. Now we need to put a AND gate. An AND gate is saying that you'll need this and this, so this and this, to turn it on. So we want this signal in here, this signal in here to turn on this signal. It's pretty simple to make one. Place 3 blocks, so removing the corner here. Place 3 blocks like that. So this is one signal, this is the other signal, that's the output. Now the output, you put a torch on the front like that, so the output's now on, and then each signal has to have a torch on top, and most importantly, a redstone in the middle. So the signal itself is, so when this one's turned on, so when this lever is turned on, it won't do anything. But when both are turned on, the signal will come through there and go through. So it's pretty simple that we need both this signal and this signal to turn on this signal. That's the AND gate done now. Next we need to do our edge, the trigger, and this trigger just sends a quick pulse through to the pistons itself, and turns off the pulse, or it stops, like it's obviously the pulse, so it just pulses once, it doesn't pulse twice or 3 times, and it doesn't pulse when you turn off the lever as well. So what we need to do is wire our pulse up, and our pulse will go pretty much directly in front of this, so we'll need to pull the signal out even further, sorry. So the signal gets pulled out like such over there, and this hole down here, we'll then make a hole and link it like that. So what will happen is we will place a piston right here and a block here. This piston will extend, blocking the current, and the pulse will be done. We need to now place a block here, and wire it in like that. So what happens is the signal comes through, it gets directed straight into the piston, itself, and the loop's created over there. Now the signal also comes around here, comes into here, powers this piston. This piston then turns off the first signal. The signal's done, so that signal's pulsing through. It comes around. Now the third thing it does is it comes into here and turns off this torch. So now we have an on state over here. This one comes all the way through on the pulse, turns this on the on state. So now we have 2 on states, and now that comes through, spreads it out, and loops it again, and around and around and around. So if all else works, we should have now a working pulse generator and on and off switch. So what we can do is that we can change the pulse by changing the repeater here. We can also change it by adding different amounts of repeaters over here. So we can place a repeater here if we want to place a repeater here, and these will change the length of the pulse, initial pulse. For now, we'll leave them like that. So we'll turn it on, and it works perfectly. So now we have a pulse that comes through, a loop, and now we have a generic switch for a pulse using an edge switch, an edge trigger, and a AND gate. And we can turn it off. So now the signal's not on, the signal's on, so it doesn't work. So I hope you understand that and it makes sense. If not, please write in the description, or the comments, about what you don't get, and if you need help at all. I'm more than happy to help anyone out who is having trouble with this itself. It's complex, and it's not complex in the sense most people might get it, but then again, quite a few probably won't get it. So I'm here to help if you need it, guys. just give us a yell and we'll help you out. I'll help you out, sorry. That's pretty much the tutorial. I hope you liked it. I hope you found it useful. And yeah, so it has multiple uses. You don't have to do it horizontally. You can do it vertically, as we did over here. So pistons coming out of the ground and whatnot. So it's all up to you and how you want to use this loop generator or this loop thing and a generic on and off loop switch and whatnot. If that all makes sense. So yeah, so this is a collab tutorial. So none of this stuff is actually my own. It's just me putting it together in a certain combination to create the setup. So hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and we'll see you in the next tutorial. So see you soon.